Alright, I'm going to show you how to make a pair of sandals, like this. A pair of combat boots. These are actually made a lot out of old combat boots in the Pacific Theater during World War II, and sometimes in Vietnam for when you're just like chilling on the base and what have you. So what you do is you take your old boot, and you're going to need a sharp knife. Let me use my blade on my Gerber here. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut the toe off of this boot real quick. Maybe not real quick, but just stab your knife in there. Go around. But you're going to stop short of the stitching right here. Now if you don't have stitching on your combat boot like this, it's like a jump boot style, just give it about a ½ inch or so of leather right there. Then come right back over the top. Go down to the cut you just started. May have some fabric that decide to get pushed down instead of get cut. So just go through and cut that. Do exactly the same on the opposite side. And take that off. Now you just do the same thing on the other side. You're going to have to hold this up a little bit, so be kind of careful when you're doing this. I put my fingers apart like so, and go straight down in between them. Another thing that you can do if you want is just draw the blade a few times and slowly cut through. If it's not, there we go. Now you can see the blade goes straight through. And just goes straight down. Now if you have a good pair of scissors, which I was trying to use these blister scissors or bandage scissors, and it works kind of good, so you can use that also. But unfortunately, you can't get like all the way down, so I have to use the blade occasionally, so I can get away with a good amount of cutting. But then they just stop, so it's kind of works but don't work, you know. So again, you go straight down. Same thing on the other side. Again, you might have some fabric. Oh, this one was going to go through to the bottom. Just pull straight up. And do the same thing along the bottom of the boot, along the seam. Okay. These corners are the ones that really kind of give you a little bit of a headache on getting exactly in there. And this little corner right back in here is a little bit of a pain because it's like at an angle. So that's why I just kind of use the blade tip and run it down and score it. Fabric wants to. I'm going to use the scissors on this one. The scissors were good on this area because I could just go all the way through. Every so often, if you want to, you can just kind of hack off the piece that you're working on here. You know, just kind of take that off and toss it into the garbage. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this other side real quick. Just like right in here, this is the the insole that I've got in there. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm just going to score it 3 times till it. There we go. Again, you gotta spend a little time on these corners to get them just right. Go to the scissors. I was using a box cutter, but that blade is like worthless now. So if you have a decent blade on a box cutter or something like that, go for it. And whatever sharp knife you happen to have. Okay, if I did, I kind of sort of did go up in here by the laces. Now, when you're done with all this, by the way, you're definitely going to want to go through and trim away stuff. Backside, again, do the same thing. Just follow your stitching. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult on some of these angles. Now how I'm doing this, I'm actually sticking my hand over here. And if you want, you just stick the blade through so you know where you can put your hand safely. I'm getting kind of away from where I want to be at, so I'm going to start that over again. There we go. And yeah, it's getting off. I'll go through and trim that up later. Actually, let me try this. Come from the start up back here. You know what? Let's get this so that it'll do anything in here. Nope, not much at all. You really want to be careful when your fingers are inside. I got about half an inch or so between my the blade and my finger. So. Yeah, let's go through here and clean that up a little. Go straight down. So. Come across the bottom here, and the beautiful thing about the bottom is you got enough rubber and stuff right here to where it's not really gonna flop around on you too much. So let's go from the other side here. So that piece is, well, except for a few areas where it's holding on. So you pull out the entire heel part, and there you go. And again, like I said, you go through and clean up little areas like that, like right in here, like this stuff right here, this insulation. You put another insole down in there. There you go. And so you might want to do this over like a table. So put a cloth out if you're doing it on the floor, because you're gonna get a lot of little bits and pieces of stuff like that. Not exactly the most stylish footwear, I'll be honest, but you know, or about comfort and anything else. Let me go ahead and slip this on for you to show you what it looks like while it's on your foot. So that's what it looks like on your foot. Make the sock off. Looks so dang stupid. But like I said, when you're out in the jungle and stuff, letting your foot be able to breathe is pretty important. But also having the good protection from the ground is a pretty good thing. So that's what these will be mainly for. This is not the best in style, but you know.